and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, or the first day I should say, of the Esports World Cup Open Qualifiers. The online qualifiers here for every region, for the Asia region. Number one, of course, shows live VIP. With me, I'm joined by all these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. The bracket is stacked. I'll be honest, I had a really hard time picking the first series. We have so many first round matches that are just so spicy, papi. Ay. I'm so torn, and we had to land on one. Likewise, shout out to Rotterdam. Roddy is also covering his own matches as well. But just to give you a taste, or really the big matches that caught my eye, Joey versus Nanami. Joey versus Nanami is going to be going on. Big fan of both players. Likewise, Nice versus Oriana as well. We also have Jim versus Silky. We have Dash versus Moku, which is our series, and Rex versus XY. Like I wouldn't be upset with any of those matches in the first round, and I was torn, but we got to go from this morning in the bottom left hand corner. We do have the observer himself. We have the Chinese Zerg player. It is Moku. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Filipino Protoss player, the pink Protoss, representing Elpis. It is Dash. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of three, as we jump into the bracket. Now, when it comes to the bracket itself, we can go over the entirety of the bracket after this series. Again, a lot of really good matches, and I'll be honest, I wanted to cast everything. Regardless, we found ourselves here in this best of three. Of course, we're good friends, and of course, these two players are near and dear to our hearts, both Moku as well as Dash. Moku, of course, he was the main observer for the WTL tournaments for the World Team League. He does, of course, work for SC Boy, and of course is an amazing player in his own right, one of the best Zerg players in all of China. Likewise, Dash, also one of the only Southeast Asian representatives here in the tournament. Of course, from the Philippines, Dash has been improving a lot over time, has been leveling up as a player, and recently did join Elpis. Elpis, of course, is one of the many Chinese teams competing in the Chinese Team League, the Ching King Team League. If you recall, if you tune into the podcast, you'd be very familiar with said league. And Dash has since joined their ranks, so bolster their forces, bolster their team. And again, he's going to be a nice addition to help us. Very nice addition. I did see some fans of Rex in the chat. As I mentioned, like Rex versus XY is also going to be a really good match as well. Like, it's too many, too many good matches. And we also wanted to avoid Rotterdam. I know Rotterdam, he's going to be covering his own matches as well. So we did want to try to avoid each other to cover as much ground as possible. That is the plan. That is the plan. For the time being, we do have initial Stargate opener from the side of Dash. Standard stuff here from our Protoss player. It's going to be standard. From here, we do have Moku likewise going for his own hatch gas pool into third base, just joining. So pretty tame early game here, just standard play out of our Zerg player, likewise standard play out of Dash as well. Nothing crazy, nothing too wild. Again, Dash, he isn't really too cheesy, at least from my recollection, with how he does perform, how he does play. So far, everything looking as it should. When it comes to the stuttering you're seeing in game, I will try to rectify that for the remainder of the series. I'll do my best, but the green server sometimes isn't the most friendly when it comes to ping, when it comes to connection specifically. But overall, we're now going Stargate opener into a third base, so far so good. So far standard play out of Dash. So far, so good. From here, we should be going into our Forge, Twilight Council, Winter Plus, One Blink Stalker. Again, everything so far looking as standard as can be from our Protoss player. Likewise, we've yet to really see any tech of choice here from Moku. Again, he isn't really one to mixing up too much either. Typically, both these players do thrive in the mid game, and it's been a long time since I've casted Moku as well. Oh my god. As he is no longer as active, or again, we no longer host our regional events either for these players to compete in, so we've seen a little bit less of Moku in the past recent months. For now, though, going to be joining, going to be saturating, rotating over in towards that third base. Queens rotate as well, and we now have our tech of choice. Again, standard follow. We have the Forge, and we have the Twilight Council as well. Let's go. Meanwhile, it's going to be Lair first. We finally have our first second choice from our Zerg player. Lair first, gases are being taken, and we are not skipping the Roach Warren. That was going to be my big sign, my big tell, whether or not we skip the Roach Warren. And that is not going to be the case. So from here, we can go into Mass Roach Ravager. All 6 gases are being taken, by the way. With all 6 gases, we could even try to throw in a Spire. This could just be a fake out, could just be for safety. Then into Spire Tech. Meanwhile, from the side of Dash, I expected +1 and Blink, but no +1 and Charge on the way instead. Let's go. Here we go. As Oracle's a fake in. Oh! So far, a couple of drone players going to be going down. Drones. So far, getting 1. Sorry, 4 in total. Aye. 4 worker kills in total. So Dash does pull away. Likewise, it is going to be a Hydrogen here from our Zerg player. With all the gases being taken, I was leaning towards Muta play, but I mean, Hydrogen also makes a lot of sense here. Regardless, it's going to be very tech heavy, going from Roach into Hydra from the side of Moku. As the lane does not slip by. Roach production has begun. Moku already droning up to 66. I mean, has already fully turned up on 3 bases. And this might just be a 3 base all in. Just maxing out on a Roach Hydra. We'll see if we saturate the 4th base. 4th base is on the way. But Moku is already building up. Already building up quite heavily at this point. Has builds up. Likewise, Dash breaking out. He's going for his own push. This I'm not too fond of, bearing in mind that our Zerg player has not been droning. So Dash is pushing into a player that's going for a 3-way soul in, and there's plenty of roaches. A bit of a misread here from our Protoss. He was going for his own charge timing, that is true, but he runs into a brick wall, and now it's time to counterattack. And Dash is in a rough position here. Very rough position. As he's just not built up for this. And mortal production has begun. Archon's into the main. He has to buy time. The Hydrogen was just for show because it's just purely Roach Ravager. And here we go. Moku does move in. There's not much to defend here. I mean, the Oracles will help. There's 1 shield battery. Speaking of, Wiles on the cannon. Cannon goes down. And from here, Dash, he is going to be able to hold on. He does have that Immortal. Immortaling a lot in the back line. Wiles, they do connect. They rain down on the Stalkers. That 1 Immortal just going ham here on the Roaches. And Dash, he's holding. Whew, he is holding on. The Zealots, they did a great job at buffering at least. And the Immortal did so much here. The Immortal, the Archons. Dash, he's holding. He's holding on. Behind this, we have more Immortals on the way, making 2 Immortals at a time. Oh my god, going into double of robot production. And Void Race is all. I mean, all things anti-Roach. And speaking of, we have more Roaches on the way. Oh, Stasis Trap to the face. Moku, he does run into the army, he does run into the Stasis. And he's being picked apart. Very nice defense here from Dash. He shuts down the army, he shuts down the all-in. Now we're forced to drone. Now Moku is forced to drone up, but these are late workers. The saturation is late here for the Zerg. Infestation bits on the way as well, working towards Hive Tech. +2 range. But from here, Dash getting ahead, getting further ahead at this point. He was supposed to be dead. Go. I see someone asking about the bracket is seated. There you go. I don't know why you wouldn't think it would be, but there's someone asking about the players that are in round 2, and yes, all the players in round 2 are seeded. They're all seeded in based on their performances in previous years. Like they're the top players of the region. There should not be a doubt in your mind that those players do deserve to be there. Here we go. Moku is moving in. Now going to be deflected. And we do see Moku trying to go for a split push. We have a Roach Hydra on one end. We have the main army towards the other. Dash, can he split up in time? He does not have a recall. Yeah, no recall, but he does have the warp in. Cybercore goes down, but it's okay. Warping and Zealots. Remember, Charge Archon Immortal. The Cybercore matters a little bit less. That's a lot of Immortals. We're still not stopping. We're gonna have 10 Immortals. Jesus. We're gonna have 10 Immortals here with the main army. And Immortals are built to bring all of this down, including Lurkers, by the way. Meanwhile, we do see Dashi does overextend with the Oracles. The Immortals, they go ham, but they also need support. Where are those Zealots? They support each other. Let's go. Here we go. The Zealots, they do arrive across the map. The main army crumbles here for Moku, and Dashi stumbles out of control. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see that the counterattack has gained some ground. Does break into the natural. We're going for the base trade. The natural base is going to fall at the same time. Top left is also going to be going down. Ling reinforces exactly what Moku needs. Zerglings are going to do amazing here against the Immortals, but what about the charge lots? That's where Banelings help out, or that's where the Hydras would come into the mix. Here we go. We have 12 Hydras on the way. It's almost purely Immortal left over. Zealots are helping. At the same time, the army is still dealing damage here across the map. And where are those reinforcements? Where are the warp-ins? Dashi steps in, hitting top of the Hydras, bleeds out one of the Immortals. The Hydras, they're doing well for themselves. They get 1, 2, 3, 4 Immortals. And that's target firing here, but there's the recall. And Moku holds. And that was an expensive loss for Dash. Very expensive. Initially, he was doing well, but he bleeds out another Immortal. That was 6 Immortals going down. And it shows that Immortals on their own, they don't do much. Not against Ling Hydra or against Drone Hydra, I should say. They need those charges, also need those Archons. And again, those were expensive losses. Now, as it all settles, I still do favor Dash. Dash, he's in a better economic position, but the problem is that the army he had built up takes so long to build up. He had 10 Immortals, now he's down to 2. It takes a long time to replace all of that, especially with contaminations. And that's contamination here from Moku. Likewise, Nidus on the way. Moku getting ready to move out. So Moku does push out on the right hand side. Likewise, leaning towards the left. We have cannons to defend. Dash turtling up. Does turtle up. Is built up back at home. Lings, they can't find a way in. Lurkers pushing forward. Now, a high Immortal count can deal with Lurkers, but they do need a concave. They cannot just move in. And we have a decent concave being set up here from Dash, but he needs a little bit more time. Likewise, he cannot trickle in like this. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol. A bit of miscontrol here. Lings, they can't really threaten the bases. Void Ray moving in. No Hydras, likewise, so no detection. Nidus into the main. And Lurkers towards the third, or towards the fourth even. Here comes the warp in. Dashi's distracted. Nidus will complete. Dashi doesn't notice. And Lurkers, they bust into the main. Again, Dash's attention is being split. Trying to race on over. Another contamination. Let's go. I'm loving the chain contaminations, especially on the robos. With that trying to move in. Oh, gateways are depowered. And Moku is pulling Dash apart. He's pulling him apart. We do try to go for the recall. Does recall over. Is there detection? No detection. No detection. Does nothing against the Lurkers. And Moku has done it. Again, very back and forth, very close. Dash initially had a very impressive defense with his Immortals. But unfortunately here, he just cannot keep up. Again, he overextended earlier, losing all those Immortals here at the other base, at the third. Dash otherwise was in a commanding position. Yeah, Lurkers, they do move in. Dash, at this point, he's all in. At this point, he's all in. He cannot save the natural. He cannot save the fourth. But he's pushing into lurkers. And no longer does he have 10 immortals. He's down to 4. The immortal count just isn't there. Oh, I say that. A couple lurkers I picked up. I just trying to make a stand. Main army does push forward. Where is the detection? No detection. No observers. He can't see. He can't see what's going on. Another immortal goes down. Lunkers are moving in. They do borrow in time. They take down another immortal. We're down to 1 immortal left. Down to 1 immortal. And the dash is going to be cleaned up. He's going to be cleaned up. He will lose everything. The immortals, the archons, the zealots, the void rays. They still find some damage, don't get me wrong, but that's all they do. It's only void rays. Dash is long distance mining. He's coping a little bit, Pappy. Is coping. Down to 1 void ray. And down to 0. Yeah, 0 void rays left. He had his moments in this game, but merely only moments. As a Moku, he does move out. He was able to tech up. Even has a Viper. We've got the final army of Dash trying to push forward. Archon goes down. GG gets called, and Moku, he will take game number 1, taking a lead in the series. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. We'll take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can advance on. We'll see if Dash can fight back, as of course this is a best of 3. Of course, I'm looking forward to a back and forth. And again, I could definitely see a world where Dash could have taken that first game as well. We saw him defend beautifully against the Master Roach all-in, against the 3-base all-in, and then went into his counterattack but did overextend, and he wasn't able to reinforce. If he had a Prism, if he had some Zealots, and that could have been game then and there, but alas, he didn't. So yeah, getting into game 2. As we are setting up. Yeah, we're setting up. We are setting up. And we're getting into game number 2. Sorry, it's just our players just setting up the said lobby. But we're good to go. And again, after this series, we'll be going over the bracket itself. We'll get there, we'll get there. Here we go, we're loading into that second game. As a reminder as well, top four do make it through the qualifier. They make it through into the closed qualifier, and the qualifying matches will be best of 5s. Best of 5s, and God, they switch places. Hold on. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing, in a way, SC Boy. It is Moku. Moko even. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the pink Protoss player from the land of the Philippines, representing Team Elpis. It is Dash. Here we go. As we are setting up, we are settling in. Now, welcome one and all to Pylon. Pylon is known for more aggressive play, known for all-ins. Again, we've seen many an all-in here on Pylon, and we did also see Moku, even on one of the more standard maps like Leylines, commit into a 3-base all-in himself. So I do expect to see aggression out of our Zerg player. If you recall, we also saw aggression blindly out of Dash. The game started last game in favor of our Zerg player, with Dash going for his own +1 in charge timing. He just happened to be going up against Mass Roach. He just happened to be going up against Mass Roach, and Moku did hard counter him. Of course, the follow-up was Dash going into double robo mass immortal production, so he was able to survive and get into the mid game. But initially, like, again, it was a really rough start for Dash. I'm hoping that this time either he is able to scout and confirm what's going on and then make a better decision, or just blindly just go into a standard build into Blink Stalker instead. I think there's a high chance that Moku is going to play very roach heavy. I think there's a very high chance of that happening. So it is risky to go into charge in such a way. Essentially, the charge build that Dash had gone for in the last game is ideal against Ling Hydra. So if the Zerg player skips their Roach Warren, if they go into Ling Hydra, then you can strike them down. You can like hit hard, hit fast with a +1 charge timing. But if they're going into Roaches, then we saw the Zealots, they did nothing. Dash wasn't able to achieve the damage she was looking for, the damage she was hoping for. We are settling in. Likewise, there's also no invites here for our players. There's no invites into any further into the closed qualifier, so everyone has to work through the open qualifier. It'll work through it. He does threaten a dive. Behind this, Dash is just building up. Once again, Stargate opener into Oracle. And from here, we should be expanding, getting a third base, working towards the Twilight Council, and working towards our upgrade of choice. Whether we go into Blink, whether we're going to Charge, whether we're going to Glaive Adepts, yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. The first Oracle does threaten a dive. Ooh, takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. It's going to be zoned away. From here, it does pull away. Likewise, third base now being taken, and we should be seeing our take of choice soon. Likewise, we're reaching the 4:30 mark. At 4:30, that was the timing of the lair last time for Moku. Speaking of, there it is at 4:27. We do have our lair. So it is once again lair first. If you recall last game, we saw our Zerg player just take all gases. Take all their gases, drone up heavily here. You can see the bare minimum amount of lings. Likewise, Dash is not harassing with Adepts. I say that, I spoke too soon, Adepts are on the way. And we'll see if Dash can punch the greed of Moku. Moku has a minimal defense. Adepts are spotted. The lings are on the way. But they're still in production. Dash, he can try to break through, can try to get into the mineral line. Doesn't come into the shade. Doesn't quite commit. Now she's rotating. He's rotating over. Looking for another way in. Hydrogen on the way here for our Zerg player. Once again going Hydras. Is going to be +1 and Blink on the horizon here from a Dash. There's a safety Roach Warren, but we do have a potential here to go into Ling Hydra instead of going Mass Roach. Remember, this time there's no charge, so Ling Hydra is more viable here as an option. Dash, he still doesn't quite commit into any of the bases. Still hasn't really done much. Lings, they get a full surround. And they get a surround. Queens, they move forward, they zone away the Oracles, and a very nice engage here from Moku. Likewise, does speed out some of the Adepts. does pull away. Hydra production has begun. Again, we've already confirmed that it is going to be Blink Stalker, no charge. So a more Hydra heavy composition this time. Still a couple of safety roaches, just to be safe. And I do prefer Moku's position here. Dash is being active, Dash is moving out. Hitting top of the queens. And gets one. Gets two. Two queens go down. Likewise, Moku collapsing in the army. Does force back the stalkers. Oh, the stasis does go up. Stasis goes off, a gateway's on the way. Dash turning this into a 3-base all-in. How many gateways do we have? It's been a while, but yeah, we have 8, soon to be 9. So it's going to be 3-base, 9-gate all-in for Dash. I put this up the other day, yesterday even, talking about how we rarely see 8-gate all-ins anymore. But Dash going old school, by old school I mean like 4 months ago. By old school I mean earlier 2025. Earlier in the year, and okay. Again, this is a build that is full out of favor and full out of fashion. Zerg players have gotten better at defending against it, at being safe. Jesus, that's mass Hydra. Yeah, this is just taking far too long. It's taking too long at this point. Pylon goes down, Gateway gets depowered, and the all-in here is just falling on its face. Dash, he cannot gain momentum, he cannot keep up, not like this. Once again, we saw that last game Dash attempted to be aggressive and it fell on its face. Here, same thing. Instead of playing standard, instead of building up into a 4th base and being more defensive, Dash is trying to be aggressive here against Moku. It's just not working out. It's not working well. As we have the Hive on the way. Infestation Pits is done. Lurker Den as well. Getting ready for, Hive Tech, for Lurker Tech. Vipers. Moku getting into his final form. I don't even think he needs to be honest. Like, right now, there's no splash damage. If Moku wanted to, he could just max out and move out across the map. Speaking of coming in for this round. Does have this around, but there's a blink. Does catch a couple of stalkers. Yeah, very nice damage here. Very nice catch. But 5 stalkers going down. From here, could keep going. Never mind. Dash has been building up charge lots. And without Banelings, I do favor Dash's composition now. What we need to see out of Moku would be lurkers. And there it is. Oh my god, 14 lurkers on the way. So here we go. Building up. The Lunkers are ready. And what is the answer to lurkers? Nothing. There's no storm, there's no disruptors, there are no immortals. It's purely a gateway composition with Archon support. We may just go for the base trade at this point. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. Again, Dash, he cannot engage into these lurkers, so the base trade is his best option. It's his best chance. Does hit the 3rd, pushing into the natural. Likewise, Moku striking the natural base as well, going straight for the main. Now, Dash, he does have the 3rd base available to him, but alas, you just see Moku moving in. And who can kill the Willings first is the question. As Probes are getting away, the Probes do escape. Dash, he can afford a Nexus, he can afford bases. So he can rebuild the army. At the same time, oh, no, the draws! Oh, they didn't pull away in time. Oh, I say that. Dash does bring everything forward. He wants to try to break this lurk. Oh my god, oh no! He's going up the ramp. Yeah, trying to force his way up the ramp, but it's going to be brutal here. It's a meat grinder. So many Zealots go down. Oh god. The Archons, they do tank. We do break through at least somewhat. But the lurkers, they're still undetected. GG gets called. Dash, he cannot break the main base, and Moku will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here. Moku will claim the series. A shout out to Dash here for competing. And again, game 1 was very back and forth, very tense, very close. Here in game 2, a little bit more one-sided in favor of Moku. As Moku does break through. Again, Moku was able to build up his Hydra tech. We saw that Dashi was going for a 9-gate 3-base all-in. It fell on its face. And then Dashi was just stuck behind in tech. Again, that's why he had no answer to lurkers. If I didn't make that clear, that's why he had no setup, is because he was going for his own all-in initially, which did fail, which set him behind tech-wise. GG. GG, well played. With that, Moku will claim the series, and now let's follow him into the next round. Let's go. Let us go. As I believe he has another opponent. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Here we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is progressing. As I do message some of the players. Here we go. So just submitting those DMs and messaging some of the players, but here we go from the top. We do have, from the top. We'll go from the beginning here. We do have Lancer. Lancer, as it looks like we have some weird setups here, but Lancer, he's waiting for the winner of Lin and Nanyu. They are currently facing off. But they're going to be facing off in the first round. I will actually try to fix some of this up, actually. Hold on. Filters. There we go. That's better. So we have Lancer waiting for the winner of Lin and Nanyu. Scrolling down, we have GogojOey. That was another series I was looking at, but GogojOey, he goes down to Nanami Chiaki. Okay, Nanami Chiaki does take down Joey 2-0. Does take him down, and with that, Nanami is waiting for the winner of Lancer, Lin, and Nanyu. So going down a little bit further here, we have Jieshi. He's going to be up against Moon Shadow. I'm a little bit unfamiliar with Moon Shadow. Don't really know how that series will progress. But winner does advance on the face-off against Nice, as Nice takes down Oriana 2-0. Very nicely done, as Nice does take the 2-0. Scrolling down, we do see Firefly up against Cassie. Cassie takes down Erebus Black 2-0. We have Silky takes down Jim 2-0 as well. Silky waiting for the winner of Firefly and Cassie. Scrolling down, we have Lemon. Lemon, of course, is now up against Moku in the next round. That is going to be our next series, Lemon versus Moku. And at the bottom of the bracket, we have Rex versus XY still ongoing. Oh boy. That's a bracket. So as I mentioned before, my next series is going to be Lemon and Moku in the quarterfinals. As I believe these are going to be best of 5s, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful. As sorry, we're getting into the round 16. Round of 16. So we're not at the round of 16. We're not at the quarterfinals yet. We're not at the qualifying matches yet. But we're getting there. Getting there. As vetoes are underway. And, you know, we might be able to catch some Rex later on. Might be able to catch him. That's the hope. That's the plan. Catching up with the chat. enough lurkers. Where we got lurkers for days, pappy. Lurkers everywhere. Oh my god. It's crazy. As it looks like we have our lobby. As I'm also trying to turn on my VPN as well. There we go. Okay, hopefully this does work out. So hopefully this does fix any latency issues that we've been having. The stuttering, I mean, in game. Just turning on my VPN. And hopefully connecting. Beautiful. So I'm just trying to set up. Looks like game one is going to be on ley lines. There we go. Beautiful. Sorry, I was just connecting to the VPN. And hopefully all is well. Beautiful. But again, exclamation mark B in the chat. And again, top four do qualify for the closed qualifier. That means that all you have to do is make it to the semifinals. That means that the quarterfinals are best of fives. Quarterfinals, the round of 8 is going to be best of fives. Currently, we're in the round of 16. We were in the round of 32, but now round of 16. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, top right-hand corner here of Leylands, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Lemon. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, the observer himself. It is Moku. And if we're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we step into this. Moku is a strong player, don't get me wrong, but Lemon, he is the best player in all of Taiwan. He has taken that mantle and taken that place from players like Haas, from players like Nice as well. Lemon, he's now at the top of the region, and everyone expects Lemon to qualify. We all expect him to go far in this event, in this qualifier, but we'll see if he can make it through his first opponent, make it through Moku. Let's go. Let us go. Otherwise, oh, it's so smooth. So smooth. So smooth. So should be smooth sailings here on forward when it comes to in-game. Clean. And again, as a reminder, the winner of this series goes up against the winner of XY and Rex. Now, when it comes to Lemon's play, Lemon is more aggressive. He's a more aggressive player. He's a little more intentional when it comes to his builds. He's a little more mid-game focused as well. I mean, I say more aggressive. Dash technically was going for early timing attacks and all-ins. That is true when it came to his 9-gate all-in on 3 bases, or when it came to game 1, his charge timing as well. But I will say that Lemon is a little bit more crisper and a little bit cleaner when it comes to his builds. And we'll see if Moku can keep up. See if he can keep up. As he's been quite greedy so far in this series, or in this broadcast. Has been quite greedy. So players are settling in. Also, shout out to Roddy. Again, Roddy, he's covering his own matches. I believe Rotterdam was covering Silky versus Jim earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Currently, he's covering Firefly. Oh, there you go. Covering Firefly and Cassie. So he's got his own matches. We have our own, of course, as well. Now, if we're lucky enough, we might even be able to cover multiple qualifying matches. Of course, we're going to be focusing on R1, focusing on following our players into either Rex or XY. And after that, we might be able to catch another match as well, if we're lucky. If we're lucky. Meanwhile, so far, Hatch Gas Pool, Unnatural here out of our Zerg player. We have a handful of Lings on the way to help deal with the Adepts. Speaking of, Lemon does shade in. 2 Adepts taking 1-shot workers, but so far, Moku's keeping up. Moku is keeping up, does zone away. They don't quite make it in. Behind this, Oracle production's underway. First Oracle has arrived. We do have our spores being thrown down as we speak. We have a spore at the natural base. No spore at the main yet. The Oracle making a beeline across the map. Queens are ready. And so is the spore. Very nicely timed. Spore is done. Oracle zoned away. And Moku keeps up. He defends. So far, so good. He's been able to defend and keep up with the Adepts and with the Oracles. Meanwhile, Lemon is not done. A second Oracle has arrived. That's going to be an earlier Twilight Council. And what are we looking for? We're looking for gateways. We're looking for gateways, looking for potentially a Forge. But I don't see a Forge yet. Show us that gateway count. As Lemon does quick in, shades into the middle line. Drone's going to be going down. 1, 2, 3 drone kills already. Here's a 4, 5. Ooh, just 4. But regardless, solid damage here by Lemon. Meanwhile, I don't see any extra gateways here. Lemon, he's banking up resources. What's the plan? What's going on? Still only 2 gates. Blink is on the way. But the Forge is very late. We can afford a Forge. We could have afforded those gateways earlier. Yeah, 2 gates, now the Forge. This is late here from Lemon. So Lemon looks like he was hyper-fixated on his damage. And to be fair, he does kill 6 drones, right? He does get a lot of damage, which is nice. But his follow-up build of choice is going to be delayed as a result. So slightly later warp-ins, slightly later +1. But we'll see if we can make up for that with the Oracle damage, with the Oracle harass. Once again, poking in. Going for the Eva chamber. Yeah, sure. I mean, it works. Gets a drone. Does force a cancel. Speaking of delayed upgrades, as Moku does go for the safety roach horn once again. We've seen this every game so far against Dash. Opening up roaches. This doesn't always mean mass roach though, but it can. There's the NG overcharge. Hydrogen's on the way as well for Moku. We'll see if he commits into Roach Hydra or just pure Roach. With the revelation of all these Stalkers, I would imagine is going to be working towards Ling Hydra. I would imagine. Lings, they collapse in. Meanwhile, Lemon, he does keep pushing. Blink is already done. And you see Lemon applying a lot of pressure early on. Lings that can't quite engage. Nice blink control out of Lemon. Going for the queens. And he will barely not get one. Queens are being forced back. Lings, they try to engage. Oh. Meanwhile, Lemon does blink away. Again, the control's been on point so far. I don't think he's lost a single Stalker. Yeah, 0 Stalkers have gone down. Just the Adepts. Oh, the Stalkers are getting low. Lings are going down, and Lemony's breaking through. And again, he's lost only the Adepts. No Stalker kills yet. Catching out Hydras. Hydra's going to be going down. More stage traps on the way. Hydra count is building. Oh, he dies on the Hydras. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4 Hydras. One Stalker finally goes down. But these are brutal losses for Moku. Again, he's barely holding on. Barely surviving. And the Queens, they hold their own. We got a Gateway Explosion Storm on the way, going into Charge as a follow-up. Interesting. Not into Colossus, into Storm. Which is, of course, a little more trendy as of late. Getting a 4th base. You can see that Moku has some time to breathe. Whew. Getting ready for a Drop Lord even. Interesting. Doesn't have Overlord speed, so that might be... we'll see how that's used. But no Overlord speed. That might mean that might meant to be an Overseer instead. Oh, it's to save the Lings. How did they get there? What happened? Oh, I see. No, but yeah, how did they get there? Lings, is it trapped right now? They were behind the gas geyser before it was morphed in. Ah, that's unfortunate. Now the Drop Lord makes sense. Basically, for those that are curious, the Lings, they pulled back behind the gas geyser. Oh, over here. They pulled back behind the gas geyser when it was just a regular geyser, but then it got morphed into an extractor, which does increase the size of the building, which locked them in. Smurge, pappy Smurge. So Lings, they're trapped. They're trapped for the time being. Storm is done. That's a lot of High Templar. That's a lot of Storm. Where the Extractors, Truth Tick. The Lings, they want to help. They're trapped. Let them be free. I mean, even if they were here, they wouldn't help too much, to be honest. There's just too many Storms. Like, Lemony's just been too efficient here throughout the game. Massive Storms on the Hydras. Hydras, they get locked down. They get shut down completely. I think the most that these Lings could achieve is to force out another early Storm. Storms are popping up on the Lings. But here come the Archons. Here comes a follow-up. Zealots, they rush into the natural. GG gets called. Lemony tears Moku apart, and Lemon takes game number 1. GG. GG will play it again. Lemon, he's the strongest player in Taiwan. You know, in the absence of Haas and the absence of Nice, Lemon did rise through the ranks. Again, Nice, he is back in a sense. Nice, he isn't playing full-time anymore, but he has been streaming, he has been playing, he has been competing, he's playing part-time, I should say. And Nice is also in the brackets. He's also in the bracket. We might be able to feature him later on. For now, though, Lemon does take a lead, and we'll see if he can extend that lead as we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. We go. So we're getting into our next game. Again, Lemon, he does take the lead in the series, but we'll see if Moku can recover and bounce back. So here we go. As we are loading into Ultra Love. We are going to be loading in. And we'll see if Moku can make a series out of this. Personally, I hope so. Do hope he can. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of Ultra Love, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. The Taiwanese Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing himself. I believe currently teamless. It is Lemon. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing SE Boy, as he was, of course, our observer. It is Moku. Here we go. As we do settle in. And again, Lemon, he was very aggressive, very assertive in that last game. Again, it wasn't necessarily about the build of choice, but he was just really active with the Adepts, really active with the Stalkers. He was able to achieve a lot of damage in the early to mid game, which set up for success later on down the line when it came to his commitment into Stalkers, when it came to his Storm follow-up as well. He was just applying so much pressure, not allowing Moku to safely drone, not allowing him to build up his army either. We saw the crazy efficiency with the Blink Stalkers, if you recall, with Lemon diving in, and he was able to pick off so many Lings, so many Hydras, with only losing one Stalker in the end. It was crazy efficient, and Moku just could not keep up with those trades, and could not keep up with those engagements. But we'll see if he can recover coming into game 2. We'll see if he does adjust. Welcome to Ultralove. Ultralove is known for more aggressive builds, more aggressive play, known for more all-ins. And we could see an earlier push, an earlier timing from our Zerg player. We could even be very Roach heavy instead. Here we go. As we have once again Stargate Opener out of Lemon. Take his third base. For now, just droning, just saturating. And nothing crazy yet. Again, we're still waiting for our first Oracle. Stargate Opener into Oracle. It has to be expected. Likewise, Moku just droning. The early game is relatively passive, typically here in ZVP. There are Adepts, though, that are looking to threaten the Shade. Remember, 2 Adepts taking one-shot drones. Does slip in. Gets one. Gets one drone so far. Oh, he thinks about it. Does see where there he goes. Second drone goes down. The Jukes getting it to 3 over 3 drone kills, and the Depths, they do shade away. They shade away. Nice start for Lemon. Again, Moku having a hard time maintaining his economy. 3 drones, not the worst start for Lemon, but doesn't bode well. Oh, does take down one Adept there. Nice catch. Nice catch here by Lemon. Takes down an Adept. Oracles have arrived. And so far, Lemon trying to keep up. Oh, sorry, Moku trying to keep up. So Lemon does move out. Third base is on the way. As the Oracles, they do move out. They do reinforce. Lemon does hit the main. Behind this, that Twilight Council follow-up. Working towards, I would imagine, Blink. I mean, there's no reason for Lemon to really deviate too much after game 1. Going for the stasis traps even. And Moku does pull away, but still gets caught out. 3 drones get caught. Lair first out of Moku. Another stasis. Oh no! The reaction! Oh, Lair reaction here, and he gets half the Mineral Lion. Half the Mineral Lion gets caught. Lemon is still not done. Oh, he should be though, as he takes a lot of hull damage. Kills 1 drone, but pays the price for it. That was less worth of a Lemon. Across the map, Moku is affected. As Lemon does pull away. Does pull away. We have our standard fold here. We have Blink. We have +1. Upgrades are underway for our Protoss. And now here comes the aggression. We've seen this before. This time, can our Zerg player defend? Can he hold on? Can he minimize losses? No Roach Horn. Ooh, no safety Roach Horn, so it's going to be once again purely Link Queen. And once again, we should be going Link Queen into Hydras. There it is. Hydra Den is on the way. As we attempt to knock down that tower. Creep will recede. Stalker's poking in. You can see Moku trying to lure the army onto creep. Ooh, Revelation does miss any tumors. Wings, they move out for a counterattack. We do see Lemon rotating. Ah, no fourth base. Oh no, he got in too soon. He got in a little bit too soon. As he does miss the fourth. The fourth is now on the way. It could have been cancelled, could have been denied. But Lemon, he missed it by a couple of seconds. It's too quick. Likewise poking forward. Oh. Guesses over the queen. Plus transfuse. Nice around. Very nice around. As he doesn't get the stalkers though. Stalkers do get away, but you can tell that this time we can see the Lemon, he hasn't been able to be as efficient. He hasn't gotten as many link kills. Not this time. Stasis did go off here on the drone. But remember, we already have a fourth that's halfway done. So Moku in a better position than last game. He's in a better position. He's built up his link counts. He's cut corners as well. Remember, he skipped his Roach one, going straight into Hydras. His fourth base is getting up. Oh. Stasis goes off on one Zergling. And Moku is holding the line. Behind this, taking up into Lurkers. Okay. And this, he is taking. Meanwhile, Lemon, Storm is going to finish. He needs time to build up into Lurkers, but he's not there yet. Storm will hit first. And it's going to be purely Ling Hydra. No Bailings. Oh, it's going to be a tough hold here for Moku. Storm is moving in. So far for a solid Storm here on the Hydras. Fourth base on the way. Lings, they attempt to surround. But there's still just so many Storms. Yeah, Storms, they annihilate the Hydras. There's not that much on the ground, but here we go. Zelta coming to reinforce. With a fleet beacon on the way for Lemon, getting ready for Sky Toss. I mean, he knows that he's done less damage this time. 16 Hydras on the way. Storm zones. Lemon, he pokes in. Rotates around. Does rotate, does spot the fourth base already up and running. Gases were prioritized. Zelsa do hit the right hand side, catching reinforcements. Nice Storm on the Hydras once again. Storm does connect. The Hydras are exposed. No Zerglings. Yeah, no Zerglings, no Bailings. So many Hydras go down. A couple of Zelsa do trickle into the natural. And is there another Storm? Not quite. But Lemon, he has been trading well. And now he has a supply lead. And Zelsa wreaking havoc in the natural. Zelsa peel off in towards the third. And Moku is being pulled apart. Where's that Storm? He has it in the chamber. But now pulling away. Drones are falling. And GG gets called. Yeah, it's just too much pressure. Too much pressure. Everything was on fire. 18 drones went down. And Lemon, he breaks his opponent. He breaks Moku and takes the series at 2-0. GG, well played. Lemon, he does take the series. Does advance on into the next round. Whew. Does advance on, and with that, a very strong performance here out of Lemon. Moku, he was trying to keep up, and I do think that he had a better showing here in game 2 compared to game 1, but even then, the Storms were brutal. The Storms were popping off. Despite that, he was trying to take up into his Lurkers, but he needed more breathing room. He had no Bailings. Without Bailings, it is so difficult to defend. It's so difficult to keep up with those charge lots. GG. GG, well played. With that, Lemon does advance on to a qualifying match. And up next, we have a next series. It is going to be Lemon versus Rex. We have confirmation. Rex has taken down XY. It's going to be another ZVP. Purely ZVPs here. Let's go. Let us go. As we have some Taiwan on Taiwan action. Oh boy. As we may as well switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket to figure out where we are and what else has been going on in the bracket. Let's find out. Let us find out together here. Scrolling down, we have Lancer. Lancer still up against Lin. Lin did take down Nanyu 2-0, so Lancer up against Lin in the second round. Winner goes up against Nanami. Nanami has a lot of downtime waiting for his next opponent. Scrolling down, we have Jieshi. Jieshi still up against Moonshadow. Winner goes up against Nice. Nice takes down Oriana 2-0. We saw that result earlier. Firefly takes down Cassie. Firefly up against Silky. That is a qualifying round. That's a qualifying match. A PvZ between Silky and Firefly. That's going to be a banger of a match. I'm pretty sure Rotterdam is covering that series. And scrolling down, we have our qualifying match. We have Lemon versus Rex in another PvZ. So it looks like so Rotterdam's going to be covering Firefly and Silky. We are going to be covering Lemon versus Rex, which means these upper matches are going to be a little bit later when it comes to when they begin, and we might be able to catch one of the upper qualifying matches later on. We might be able to catch two. So we have our series, 11 versus Rex, and we might be able to catch either Nice's series later on or Nanami's series later on. These will most likely be PvPs, by the way. Like Jeshi's a Protoss. Of course, Lancer's favored as a Protoss player as well. So non-stop PvPs most likely up here. Most likely. All the PvPs. Beautiful. Just, of course, letting them know. From here, we are going to be going on a short break. It looks like we do need some time here. We have a little bit of downtime as the players conduct their vetoes. And once they are done, we are going to be jumping into that qualifying match, that best of 5. See you soon after the break. See you soon after this very short break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our first qualifying match. Our first qualifying match of the broadcast. Welcome back to the EWC 2025 qualifiers, the Open Qualifiers for the Asia region. And we have our first best of 5 spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is Lemon. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Oh boy, as I mentioned before, the qualifying matches are upon us, and this is our first, potentially, of many. I did mention that the upper portion of the bracket is a little bit slower when it comes to results, when it comes to progression, so we might be able to cover 2 qualifying matches. That'll be the ideal, to cover 2. Until then, we are settling in. And Rex, he is a bit of a more cheeky player here. Lemon, he has been looking quite strong when it comes to his PvZ. He looked very in form against Moku. He was very aggressive, very assertive. What I will say is that Rex, he's a lot more diverse in his play. Moku was playing very standard. Moku was playing very standard when it came to droning, saturating, getting up to 3 bases, teching up into lurkers. Like, it was a very stock standard play out of Moku. Rex, he's a lot more aggressive. He's a lot more willing to go for earlier timings, for earlier tech choices as well. Not saying that he will 100%, but it's something that he does have in his wheelhouse. And it's what he really thrived in, especially when he was competing in WTL. It's how he was able to cause some big upsets, war with some cheeky builds. For now, though, Hatch Gas Pool. For now, the opener is standard, but we'll keep an eye on Rex. We'll keep an eye on him. Until then, openers are standard. Based on the pylon location, going to be a Stargate opener at 11. We're going to go looking to open up Stargate. As he does move out. Behind this, with this, we should be leading into Oracle play. Technically, a Void Ray is still viable here for Lemon, 100%. You know, it is viable to open up Void Ray to get into a more longer standard game, to try to high tech, I should say, to high tech in a standard game and try to catch his opponent off guard. We'll see if Lemon feels the need to do this against Rex. The other thing I just realized here is that we're also kind of figuring out who is currently the strongest player in all of Taiwan. I gave that title to Lemon earlier. I stand by that. But I also haven't seen these two face off in quite some time. Rex is at least the strongest Zerg player in Taiwan. So we go. Lemon does pull away. Bearing in mind that again, 2 adepts taking 1-shot workers. They do threaten to die, but so far Rex, he does maintain himself. He does run away and he does focus on the first adept. Oh, can he get it? No, barely not. Barely not. Gets a little hold damage on the first adept, but does get away. Nice target firing out of Rex. As Lemon does threaten another shade, does commit. It does commit in. 1 drone goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. Gets 3. Gets 3 drone kills. And he gets a 4th drone towards the end. Oracle dives in and does sacrifice a bit of HP, a bit of hold damage. Getting 6 drone kills in total. Very nice damage. 6 workers do go down. As Lemon pulls away. Yeah, strong follow-up here at Lemon. Behind this, third base is getting up and running. Twilight Council's on the way. That should be for a blink. Should be. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count. As Lings, they poke in. Remember the episode went down earlier. And they can threaten the dive. They don't quite go for it. Back at home, Lemon, he holds. Oh. As the Oracle does get 2 more drones. This is adding up. It's 8. 8 drones go down in total. Nice damage here by Lemon. Only losing 2 adepts. Likewise, there's that blink follow-up, warping in stalkers. Rex does poke in. Likewise, Forge on the way for +1. And Rex is going for the early Evo Chamber, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, early Evo Chamber, it should be for +1 melee. This does scream a Ling Hydra. There we go, melee's on the way. And he's going to commit into Ling Hydra. As you mentioned earlier, Moku, he was a player that was more willing to go into just faster tech, into Infestation Pit, into Lurker Den. He wasn't too concerned with getting into upgrades early on. This is to have a stronger mid-game from the side of Zerg. To have that Ling support. Meanwhile, Lemon, he's moving out. We have 30 Lings in production for Rex. And again, Rings, they do shut down Stalkers quite well if they don't have any Oracles to worry about. That's where Oracles come into the mix. They do a great job at supporting the army. First Overlord goes down. Nope. As we do it into bait. We do it into bait. So far, for a second stage does go up. One stage is left. Nice baits here from Rex, at least so far. Oh! Once again, another stage trap. There's still one more remaining. There's so many! Just so many stasis traps. And we have 2 more on the way. Now 1. Ooh, does get triggered. And Rex does bait them all out, but now he's out of links. And now he's out of Zerglings. Lemony can keep pushing. He's going for the base, going for the expansion, going for the 4th. But more links are on the way. Again, Rex, he has been keeping up. No injections. Rex is banking up resources. He's pushing through. Now there's only 1 stasis remaining. Queen goes down. Blinks, they force out a blink. Oh no! Oh, Rexy does chase too far. Does chase, but Rex holds. Rexy does hold on. Behind this, I assumed was going into Hydra Tech, but no, going into Roaches instead. Interesting. Ling into Roaches. No Hydras. I mean, the gas income is limited. There's not much gas to work with. Plus 2 melees on the way. Rex coming in for the surround. Does force out the first blink. I love that Lings, they kept pushing forward. And looking down the Stalkers, he's trying to, but the Oracles, they will defend. Will force a cancel. Nice pickup. Oh, he does beat out a lot of Lings though. Yeah, some rough pathing there from Rex. Bleeds out Lings from here, pulls away. Oh. Rex, he pulls back. Let's pull back. Likewise, Storm is done, but we do have the surround set up. Okay, nice positioning here from Rex. He baits out the Storms. Very careful with those Lings, but oh, the Roaches, they do tank a lot of Storms to the face. High Templar, they barely go down, and Rex, he does brute force his way through. Whew. Takes down the High Templar. Very nice engage here. Again, it was so careful with those Zerglings. Meanwhile, the slow lots. Yo, we got the solo run buys. The waddle buys. Does get into the mineral lines. Is going to be cleaned up. It's cleaned up. Rexy moves out. He pulls away. Does pull away, so reinforcing. Rexy's the first to max. And again, Storms are limited. Storms are going to be much more limited here. As he lost all the High Templar earlier. I say that, there's still 4 High Templar, there's still 4 Storms. You can see Rex dive in, he gets 1. Gets 1. Can he get 2? Not quite, does force out an Archon. Good enough. Yeah, and with that, no more Storms. Again, the goal there, that was a hit, squad of Roaches for the High Templar. But he doesn't have enough. Doesn't have enough. Stalkers, they break through. And Rex, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Even without Storm, the Stalkers, they do overwhelm. They have +2. They take down the Roaches. GG gets called. Rex, he was all in. He was committed. And he barely didn't have enough. Lemon takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Lemon, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Rex, he was holding his own, but he ran out of steam towards the end. Again, he only had 60 drones. Only 60 workers for Rex. He was completely all in towards the end there, and he just ran out of steam, just barely did not have enough. GG. GG, well played. But a very intense back and forth. Very intense. Again, I loved the army movement out of Rex in the center of the map. He was, I would say, in a way, out-positioning Lemon, but he just didn't have the economy to sustain those losses. Oh, we are getting into the next game. Sorry, I forgot that we're making the... forgot that we're making the lobbies. My apologies. I was engrossed in the game. I was engrossed in the game. But here we go. Game 2 is going to be on Pylon. Whew. Here we go. So we're jumping into game 2. And game 2 is going to be a much more aggressive map here. Welcome to Pylon. Pylon is one of the smaller maps. The map pool is shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored on this map. Aggression is going to be favored. Here we go. Where are you, me, Micah? Feels too soon, papi, too soon. Unfortunately, me, Micah, he did silently retire quite some time ago. Every now and then we see, you know, me, Micah or Demi, but not anymore. It's merge. Much love to me, Micah. Much love. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Offside Esports. Down in the series. We'll see if he bounces back. We'll see if he can recover. It is Rex. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the red Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is Lemon. Here we go. Hello. Let's go. So, if you remember at the start of the series, I did bring up that Rex, he does like to do some cheeky builds every now and then, and is willing to be more diverse. This qualifies as that. The vindication, papi, as Rex, he was playing relatively standard in the last game. He was forced into an all-in, don't get me wrong, in game 1, but here in game 2, we are rushing into the high-yield gas geyser. Now, because we're prioritizing this gas, this does feel like a roach rush. This feels like a roach space all-in. Otherwise, why prioritize the gas? We're not really set up here to go into like a fast lair into 2-base muta. Like, this has to be, I would imagine, like a Roach Ravager Ling all in, but we'll see. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll see what Rex has been cooking. Let's go. Let him cook, papi. Let him cook. The drone moves out. Oh, is he saturating? Uh-oh. Rex, he's leading the probe. He does lead the worker here to the ninja base. So with that, Lemon, he didn't even know to check. He was just blocking the base, but no, he will chase. And Lemon, he will scout, he will confirm. This is going to be awkward. This is going to be awkward here. So Rex, he no longer has a surprise factor. Now Lemon, his priority is to punish, is to try to break this location, to break this gas geyser. Ay, ay, ay. And here comes the Zealot already. Zealot's moving out. Zerglings are on the way. Queen at the ninja base. At the proxy. At the high yield gas base. True, we have the Zelnaga. We have the Zelnaga right next to it. True. Yeah, there's a Roach one. As we mentioned, like a Roach Rush makes the most sense. So Roach one's on the way. Question becomes, can Rex maintain that gas income? Because here come the Adepts. Come the Adepts. There's the Queen back at home. Lemon has options. Lemon, he avoids the high yield gas gadget. He's going for the main. He's going to be spotted. He's spotted, but doesn't matter. Again, there is 0-0 leads to defend. Lemon making his way in. Does head for the main. Lings, they slipped in. They were able to confirm the Stargate. Adept will commit. Oh, and drone's going to be going down. He gets one drone so far. He gets one. Oh, nice. Oh, very nice drone drilling. Okay, Rex. I see you. Nice drone drilling. Link speed is on the way. Now, again, as I mentioned before, this, in my mind, should be Ravager Link. Yeah, there we go. Ravagers are morphing in. Link speed is on the way for the Ravager Link all in. What is it to defend? Void Ray. No Oracle. So Void Ray here, Shield Battery as well. Void Ray is going to be more ideal as it's not energy based. So defensively is going to be what Lemon needs. But the Ravagers have arrived and he's here to knock down that front door. We'll see if he can. Oh. Does land a vial. Once again forcing his way into the base. Has to make room for the Lings though. Yeah, Voids are being pulled. Voids are being pulled. One Ravager's going to be targeted down. The vials, they don't connect. They do not connect. Yeah, a little bit misplaced. And Lemon, he's holding. Lemon, he's holding on. The Void Ray is all he needs. He tanks some shots. Focus down every single Ravager. Lings a flood in. He gets 11 probe kills, which is good, but he needs more. He needs more than that. He needs to break the Protoss. And 11 probe kills is not good enough. Yeah, shield batteries are on the way. The Void Ray will clean this up. There's no more Ravagers. There's no way to break in. And Rex, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. GG gets called. And Lemon, he will take a 2-0 lead in the qualifying match. Whew, GG. He will take a lead here. And again, Rex, he... Rex, I mean, I really like the build, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, because of the early scouts, it meant that Lemon could react with a Void Ray, right? That there was no room for error there. There was no doubt in Lemon's mind as to what was going on, and the Void Ray was exactly what he needed. Again, he did prioritize focusing down those Ravagers. Without the Ravagers, there was no backbone to the army of Rex. There was nothing else there, so that was a very relatively clean defense. Relatively clean defense there by Lemon. God. Very well handled. We get into our next game. I keep forgetting that I have to make the lobby. I do apologize. I just want to talk about StarCraft. Okay. So we're getting into our next game. Here we go, as we're getting into game number 3 here. Again, Lemon has a very strong lead here in the series. I did mention earlier that Lemon, he is the strongest player in all of Taiwan, and I was curious to see how Rex would compare. Rex having a bit of a harder time so far, but now it's time for the comeback. Now we're on match point. If there's any time to make that comeback a reality, it's here and now. The pressure is on. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss, leading the series 2-0, one game away from qualifying for the closed qualifier. It is Lemon. See in the chats. He played the last Go to Power ranking. I was hoping to see him again. I didn't know he was playing the power rankings for Born Gosu. It's good to hear they're still playing somewhat. But yes, apparently he's playing AoE 4. Apparently. You know who we need to message actually? Someone who is playing StarCraft 2 is Ender. Ender's been playing a little SC2. I don't know if he's aware of these qualifiers, but I'll try to remember to message Ender before the next qualifier. Because there are two. For those who are curious, there are 2 open qualifiers. So I will try to reach out to Ender. I'll reach out to Oreo. We can get Oreo in. We can oh, the boys. Message the Demi. Quantel. Quantel's been playing recently. Those who know, he's the Indonesian player. Indonesian Protoss. Who else we need to get in? Who am I missing? Jackie? Lamjoy? Where's Lamjoy? Why is he not on the brackets? We'll get him in. We'll get him in. As for now, we are just going to be joining, going to be saturating. Again, so far, standard open out of Rex. Last game, we saw a crazy build going for the proxy, but this time, no proxy, no ninja base. This time, just the unnatural natural out of Rex. Go. So now 11 does poke out. Stargate opening into Oracle. There's no need for a Void Ray this time. There's no crazy all-in happening. Nothing crazy. As then once again with double adepts. Can watch our drones. Moves in. This time nice zoning here out of Rex. Doesn't lose any workers. Let's go. Cleaner defense. Lemon does pull away. Rex behind this droning. Saturating. So far so good. We go for a split push this time, so Oracle towards the main, Adepts towards the third. Queens are ready, the Spore is not. Yeah, Spore not quite. Getting 2 drone kills so far. Adepts they shade into the third, they shade into the mineral line, getting another 4 drones. Yeah, 4 in total, doesn't quite get 5. I'd say it's decent damage for Lemon, it's okay. 4 drones for 2 Adepts. From the side of Rex, at least he did deal some hull damage to the Oracle. Speaking of, Oracle. Gonna be forced back. You know, Twilight Council follow-up. Gateways are being turned down. This is, I believe, an earlier Twilight Council than we used to, so this might not be Blink, this might be Glaives. That is a viable option. But the Gateways are a little bit late. Let's see. Do we go for the Forge? Do we go for Blink? Or it's Blink. So there's a later Forge. So a bit of a later Forge here out of Lemon, but Blink is on the way. Standard follow-up. Early Evo Chamber out of Rex, going into +1 melee. Going into +1. 4th base on the way. And Lemon, instead of being aggressive and moving out, I mean, I'm sure he still will, but we're taking up a lot faster into a Templar Archives. Really fast Storm. I mean, again, we only have 2. This is the army. 2 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers, 1 Adept, and bam, Storm is on the way. Or Templar Archives, at least. So really greedy play here by Lemon. Very greedy. And this is going to be a much earlier storm timing. Rex still just taking bases. He's investing into Lings, of course, to deal with the Stalkers that aren't coming, by the way. Like, again, the Stalker count is very low. Lemon has been intentionally skipping Warp-ins. Oh, that is Overlord Speed, though. Okay. Overlord Speed is on the way. That is a rare sight. You typically do not see Overlord Speed unless we're going for a German taxi. The Queens are amassing. We're setting up for an all-in. Or are we? Never mind, we're injecting for now. But my eyes are on these Queens. We're building on more roaches yet, building on more Lings. You can see no saturation at the 4th base. Lemon confirms. No drones. Does confirm 0 drones. Fleet Beacon? He responds to the... He's crazy. He responds to the Fleet Beacon. Right now we need Warpins, we need Gateways, we need Shield Battery, Stack Defense. This is an all-in. Again, 0 drones, and here it comes. We have Drop Lords on the way. Again, that should be for the Queens, I would imagine. Lings, they threaten to dive. There we go. Drop Lords are getting ready. Queens are building up. Rex is not droning. And we're going for a Ling drop. Okay, so it looks like a Ling drop towards the left-hand side. The Queens through the center. Not going to be too many Zerglings, as the Stasis Trap did connect. This will delay the all-in. This is giving Lemon more time. He's building up and throwing down more more Stasis Traps, more shield batteries. There we go, drop into the main. And the main army towards the natural. That's a lot of Stasis Traps, though, and a lot of Storms. Remember, Lemon, he got into Storm really early. Storm, it's been done for quite some time. Queens drop in. Storm doesn't quite connect. A better Storm towards the end. High Templar, they're going to be zoned away. They are zoned away. Ravagers are falling. Ling drop into the main, but there is Zealous to defend. There's a cannon as well. Lemony shuts us down. Lemony shuts us down. He has plenty of Storms. He has cannons. He's fine. And Rex is running out of steam. Oh, can he break down the front door? Not quite. Nice control there by Lemon. He does pull away, avoids the Biles. Queens are being forced back. The slow lots are coming in. The slow lots. And now Rex, now he's droning. Now he's droning, but these are late workers. Likewise, taking gases, going for Aspire, going into Mutas. A little bit desperate there by Rex. We'll see what he can get done. Going for the Spire. Likewise, we're going for another drop here. Actually, we're racing back home. We're racing the Queens back home. Oh, he gets away with the Fleet Beacon. Oh, no. Oh, that's the worst part. Lemon, he defended with the Fleet Beacon. Now we have the Mothership on the way. Tempest on the way. 4th base. It's up and running. Ay, ay, ay. Lemon is miles ahead. And Rex, he has to double down. He's down to 57 workers. Knocks down the gateway. Lings, they flood in. Lings, they flood into the main. But again, this main army from Lemon cannot be dealt with. Like, there's no answer. There's no answer to this kind of army. There's how many High Templar? 6? 6 High Templar, at least 6 Storms. Mass amount of Zealot, mass amount of Stalker. Rex back at home. There's no Lurkers. There's no Banelings. There's minimal Roach Ravager. It's mainly Zergling. Rex, he was backing up for Mutas, and Mutas, they will not help against this. There we go. Muta production has begun. Back at home, there's still Stack Defense in the Mineral Lines. There's still cannons, shield batteries. Mutas are going to be the attempted answer. And we can maybe base trade. Oh god, the Mothership is revealed. There's a Mothership back. As Lemon, he's moving out. Lemon, he breaks out. Oh, Rocks. They don't quite catch anything. Yeah, not quite. Last Mutas are revealed, but again, there are just plenty of Storms. There's so many Storms. The Umbrella, it's gonna do nothing. It will do nothing. And again, Mutas are designed to harass and not designed to engage. Like, they cannot engage into this army. The Mutas are just so fragile. Here we go, Mass Cloak, Storm on the Mutas. Storm on everything. The Mutas, the Roaches, the Lings, the GG gets called, and Lemon will claim the series 3-0, qualifying for the EWC closed Asia qualifier. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Lemon, he will make it through. We'll take down Rex 3-0. Shout out to Rex for making it this far, for making it into the qualifying match, but Lemon will advance on into the closed qualifier. Bearing in mind that you still have to go through the closed qualifier to make it into EWC, but Lemon is one step closer. And to be fair, Lemon is one of those players that we expected to make it through. Like Lemon, he is the strongest Protoss player in the region, or in the Taiwanese region, at least in Taiwan. In the absence of Haas, in the absence of Nice, Lemon has risen through the ranks, and he does make it through. GG. GG, well played. And the question becomes, do we have any other matches ahead of us? What's been going on when it comes to the rest of the bracket? Ooh, we have some updates here. Okay. Let us switch over. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. Here we go. From the top, we do have Lancer. Lancer already 3. That was a fast series. We started first, by the way. We had our own 3-0, but that was a much faster result. Lancer takes down Anami 3-0. Lancer qualifies for the closed qualifier. I would say was the first player to qualify. So congratulations there to Lancer. I saw that someone was asking for Cyan. Someone was asking for him. Unfortunately, we won't be able to feature him as he's already made it through. Just sneezed. But he has already made it through. Scrolling down, we have Jieshi. Jieshi versus Nice in a PvP that is currently mid-series, currently underway. So best of luck to Jieshi and Nice. Scrolling down, we have Firefly and Silky. I believe that is being covered by Rotterdam. I don't know what game they're in. Let me just double check. They're in game 4. Ooh. We just see that Silky's up 2-1. He's up 2-1 against Firefly. So they're currently in game 4. And if that goes to the ace match, they'll follow that into the ace, of course, as well. Scrolling down, we have our series, Lemon versus Rex, which just wrapped up. Lemon takes down Rex 3-0, and I was hoping to catch the Nice series. They just wrapped up as well. Nice 3-0 over Jieshi. Congratulations here. So Lemon has qualified, Nice has qualified, Lancer has qualified, pure Protoss. I mean, this is a Protoss dominant region. A lot of these regions are. This is a dominant Protoss region. So we do have a purely Protoss making it through, and we'll see if Silky can be the only Zerg. Silky is up against Firefly. Again, for those who do not know, Silky, he is the best Zerg player in all of China. He's the strongest Zerg. You don't get better than Silky. So he is the best chance to have a Zerg representative in the closed qualifier. But again, Firefly is no slouch, and they're back and forth at the moment. So we might see Silky make it through, or Firefly. Best of luck. Best of luck, as again all the other matches have concluded, and there's only one qualifying match left, and it might end as well. Again, Rotterdam, he's in that game 4, and actually never mind, it looks like we're going to the ace match. Yeah, it looks like we're going to the ace match for that one at least. Oh, super kitty. As Firefly is currently has a massive lead or advantage over Silky. And as a result, we might have the ace. Yeah. Okay. We are getting ready for the ace match, and we'll be there for that final series. Here we go. We're getting ready. So one game left. One game left here. We're here to find out who qualifies, who's the final player to join Lancer, to join Nice, and to join Lemon in the closed qualifier. Will it be a Zerg? Will it be another Protoss? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. As currently Silky and Firefly, they're tied 2-2, and there's one game left. It is about to begin. Didn't see in the chat. Also, right, before I forget, before I get ahead of myself, I did need to give... Oh, did need to give Icestan a shout out. Icestan, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to the community. Thank you so much. Gifted sub to Rafa, to as in or Asian, to Taipan, to Kindest Chains, the kindest of chains, and to Lone Wolf as well. Thank you so much, Icestan. Thank you so much. I apologize for giving you a shout out earlier. I do apologize. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Here we go. Here we go. As we are getting into our final series here of the, the final game of the broadcast. Final games. As it looks like our players need a moment. They need some time before we jump in. Ooh, and the last game is going to be on Maganatha, the largest map in the map pool. And the one Tempest. Look, the Tempest, it helped. Was a part of it. Tempest did help in some way. Let's go. Thankfully, we're going to have a little bit of downtime as well before the next qualifiers. It is going to be the May Mayhem that's going to be up next. That's scheduled to begin in 3 hours. Or just under 3 hours time. Ooh, so we will have some downtime so I can get some food. I can get something to eat. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Chinese Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Representing himself, currently teamless, fighting back and forth in the ace match. It is a Firefly. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? Can he be the lone Zerg player in the closed qualifier? It is a Silky. And if you're in the chat, predictions, they're open for this one game, this one match to end it all. Does it go the way of Firefly? Does it go the way of Silky? It's a hard one to call. Now, coming into this, Silky is a very aggressive player. He's very aggressive, very intense. And I would say that on a larger map, I favor the Protoss. I favor Firefly in the mid game and in the late game. Like that's where Firefly can thrive. When it comes to early game aggression, that is where Silky is. That's like where he is in his element in that early game aggression. Ling Floods, Bane Bust, Roach All-Ins. That is where Silky can pop off. Likewise, in longer games, we have seen Silky go Muta. We have seen him embrace Muta play from time to time, so that is going to be a viable option on Maganatha. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Silky. I know that, like, for the most part, I think of Silky as a very aggressive and borderline cheesy player, but I also know that he can play macro, he can play standard if he needs to. So we'll see where this leads us. Oh boy. So here we go. For the time being, a Firefly does pull away. Some sustenance, yes. I'll make some ramen, unironically. I'll boil some noodles, I'll make some ramen, I'll put an egg in it. Maybe 2. It's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big day. Maybe 2 eggs. At least 1. I can taste it already. The ramen. Till then, Stargate opener out of Firefly. So far, so good. Does open Stargate. Likewise, behind this, we do have our Hatchcats pulled to a third base. So far, everything's looking normal. So far, everything's looking standard. Welcome 1-0 to Magnatha. Magnatha is the largest map of the map pool, longest rush distance by ground. Tis a big map. And we'll see where our players do take us. So we are moving out. Likewise, oracles are building up. Actually banking up the oracles. Ooh, cheeky move here by Firefly. So the reason why you would want to wait and keep your first oracle at home is to make it look like you're opening up not Stargate, but you're opening up Twilight Council. And that does at times delay spores, but thankfully, okay, we have a spore in each base. Thankfully, Silky's playing safe. It's possible that already in this series, Firefly has done this. It's possible that he's already just banked up his oracles in the past and has tried to catch Silky off guard. This time, Silky playing safe. Doesn't delay. Oracles then make their way across the map. They bust into the natural, they go for the queen. And the queen does take a lot of hits. The queen is going to go down. Massive pickoff. Gets queen. Heads into the main. Doesn't quite find any damage here. But so far, a strong start for the Protoss. As the queen has to be rebuilt. Meanwhile, Ling counterattacking across the map, going for the third. But there are 2 adepts. Adepts are in position. Lings, they try to catch out some probes. Likewise, can we set up a surround? Not quite. Silky trying to drag the army out into the open. Trying to bait the army out. Excellent. No. And we're going for the all-in. I mean, again, this does like have Silky written all over it. We did mention earlier that Silky is a very aggressive player. He thrives in aggression. Lings get across the map. They force that offensive warp in. Silky pushing forward. We're going for the Nidus all-in. A Ling Roach all-in with the Nidus Worm. Interesting. Overlord goes down. Silky does not get supply blocked. Roaches are still amassing. And he will soon go for it. Here we go, Overseer into the main. Oracles, they pick in. Oh, he doesn't see. Oh, I spoke too soon. He does confirm the Nidus. Now he's aware of what's going on, but he has seconds to react, seconds to respond. Trying to warp in. Nidus into the main. Lings towards the natural. They do get in. The Lings, they do flood in. Getting a surround. So Blink is not yet done. One Stalker will fall. Nice pick up already. Gets a Stalker. Nidus does finish. And we're just rallying towards the third base. We have Lings at the natural, Roaches at the third, the main army here into the main. But alas, the main base should be defended against. Yeah, Silky won't find too much damage here, but remember, he does send towards the third base as well. And can he break through? So far, not really finding much damage. He does not get a Stalker. Goes back into the main. The saves did go up. Takes out the Oracle, not bad. Rush Transfuse. Key Source is alive. Stays is about to run out. Silky's gaining ground. He's gaining ground, takes down more Stalkers as 7 probes do fall. And he's getting on top of the production. But again, still taking a long time to get damage done. Nice being controlled here by Firefly and more Nidus Worms. More setups. More Roaches on the way. But he does need to reinforce. Again, the Queen kind of still very low and he's running out of Roaches. Where are the reinforcements? We need them. We need them. Oh my god. Queen goes down. Queen goes down. Lings are flooding in. And he's so close to breaking his opponent. There we go. A massive wave of reinforcements. This is what we needed. Roaches, they bust in. The group of roaches on the left-hand side are being cleaned up. They're being cleaned up. Queens are pushing forward. There's more transfuse. Spines are on the way. He's morphing in a spine crawler in the main. Let's go. He's running out of steam, though. He's running out of roaches. He's got to keep going. Got to keep making roaches. Behind this, no injects. No injects back at home, so limited reinforcements here. Spine crawler is denied. He's making another spine. Depowers the Stargate. Depower some of the tech. Spine crawler once again, though. May finish. Do we have any transfuse? Not quite. Yeah, Silky's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Again, he needs more reinforcements. He needs more roaches. And he barely doesn't have enough. It's close, though. It's very close. Spine crawler, it goes down. Spine crawler goes down. There's too many Blink Stalkers. Shield battery, we do have the energy overcharge. And Firefly is holding. Firefly, he is holding on. Again, the lack of injects is killing our Zerg player here. Just now does inject. But it took a long time to inject. You can see the bank for Silky. Silky, he has a massive bank. And he did do some damage, but not enough. Firefly, he holds. Firefly does hold on. Now, Silky has been teching. True. Silky has been teching up. He's making use of those resources. We have the Hydra Den, Lurker Den, Hydra upgrades on the way. No infestation pits. But so far, teching nicely. And remember, there's no splash damage. There's no Colossus. There's no Storm. Hydras, they have a place in this game. They have a place in this game. Hydras, they can do well. Lings, they get across the map. They do get into the mineral line. They threaten. They do threaten the bases. Behind this, lurkers have arrived. Silky, tech-wise, he has a lead. And he's still trying to drone. He's still trying to saturate. I say that he hasn't actually made a drone in quite some time. But he's got his lunkers. Oh, clicks in. Gets one. One lurker goes down. Nice pick off out of Firefly. Again, he has a little micro potential with these stalkers. Rotates over. Picks off more tumors. More tumors going down. You see it. Silky trying to keep up. Denies the fourth. How many lurkers? 8. 8 lurkers so far. Charge only just, not even halfway done. Silky can pull this off. Again, he has a big power spike here with these lurkers. These are lair tech. There's no hive. The lair tech lunkers. He can end the game. Ooh, brutal force fields. Force fields are brutal. Lings have to fall back. Sanshu's ready for another force field, another wave. And speaking of, force fields are thrown down. Lings have to pull away. Silky rotates. Does save the Lings. Silky rotating over. Charge is almost complete. Let's see, nice hold position micro here out of Firefly. Does hold position micro. We have more lurkers on the way. 8 more lurkers. Going to be 16 in total. But this time there's going to be charge. That's a lot of lunkers. Still keep pushing forward. He's leapfrogging. And now it's time. Now it's go time. Now getting within range of the army. Immortal production has begun. Silky has to be more assertive, though. He has to push further. And there we go. Oh, my God. As there are just so many lurkers in the back line. He needs to move in. There we go. Does commit. Yeah, we do see Silky commits in. And he just shuts down the Protoss army. Lurker spine shots going up. Zelsay melt. There are just too many lurkers. 16 lurkers. That's more than enough. And Silky's doing it. He's breaking through. Firefly cannot touch his army. Keep going. Keep going, back. Pushing forward once again. Catching out an Immortal. Free Immortal. Immortal goes down, and Silky is here to represent Zerg. There will be one Zerg player in the closed qualifier. Let's go. I say that Immortal drop coming in. Nice control. Takes down one lurker. One lurker goes down. But again, Silky breaking through. Pushing in towards that natural. Firefly being so careful with those ults. Once again, hold position micro. I do feel like Silky has to be more assertive here. He has to be more aggressive. We gotta go in. As Firefly is being given more time. Silky tries just being so safe here. As there we go, he's finally pushing forward. Somewhat still out of range. And now pushing further in. Once again, Firefly has to dive on the army. And he breaks through some of the lurkers at least. Nice around, but still not enough. The lurkers, they hold their ground. I say that a good amount of lurkers did fall. But now pushing further in. Takes down the Immortal, takes down the Archons, the Stalkers as well. And that was the final stand of Firefly. GG gets called, and Silky, he will make it through. He will take the series 3-2, qualifying for the EWC Asia closed qualifier. GG. Whew. GG, well played. It went all the way to the ace match, went all the way down to the wire. But again, Silky with the Nidus all in into the main didn't kill Firefly, but did cripple him. And likewise, he was able to tech up into Hydra's behind us. Not just that, but Firefly, because he was hyper fixated on defending, he was not teching. There was no storm, there was no immortal production, there was no follow-up, there was no charge either. It was purely Blink Stalker, so he had a hard time scaling up and keeping up with the Hydras and with the lurkers as well. Had a really hard time keeping up. There was that window where lurkers could break through, could overwhelm even lair tech lurkers. And Silky, he hit it. He hit that timing. GG, well played. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Silky as it does qualify. Not just Silky, but congratulations to all qualifying players as we switch back over to our bracket. From the top, we had Lancer, aka Cyan. Lancer did make it through as the first player qualified. Nice, he qualifies over Jieshi. Actually, I can refresh the bracket. But yes, initially we had Lancer / Cyan. We had Nice qualifying through 3-0 over Jieshi. We had Silky barely 3-2 over Firefly. Very close, very clutch series. And then we had Lemon over Rex. GG, well played. So we have Lemon, we have Silky, we have Lancer, we have Nice. 3 Protoss, 1 Zerg. We have a Terran player. Well, there were no Terran players in this. I mean, there were some Terrans. There was Oriana, there was XY, of course. We were missing a couple of players. There was no Kingslayer. There was no Kingslayer, for example. Effort hasn't competed in quite some time. But we'll see if we get some more Terran representation in the next qualifier. Otherwise, GG, well played. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Hope you'll had a great time. Again, this is the first of many open qualifiers for the EWC, and we have plenty more on the horizon. But, oh my god. Look at that schedule. Okay. From the top. For those that are curious, for those that are trying to keep up with our schedule here, I almost wish I could zoom in. So we're here on Wednesday. We're Wednesday night. We just wrapped up with this morning we were live with the Picasaur Cup. So we just wrapped up the Picasaur Cup Wednesday morning. Meanwhile, we do have the EWC Asia qualifier we just wrapped up in the Wednesday evening. Then you can see there at midnight. So in a couple of hours, at midnight KST, that is going to be in that's going to be at 1 a.m. AEST. That's going to be in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours time. We're going to be live with the May Mayhem. Now, as a reminder, that is going to be slightly clashing with the European EWC qualifiers. Because of that, we are going to be prioritizing the May Mayhem. And once we wrap up with the May Mayhem, we will switch over to the EU qualifiers. So that's the plan. We start with May Mayhem, then we end with the European qualifiers. That is going to be the plan here on the channel, at least currently, unless there are any changes in the schedule. Likewise, we do also have the EWC NA qualifier. That's going to be after the EU qualifier at 7 a.m. KST, followed by, in the evening, the second Asia qualifier. We're going to be all over that. That's going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours, followed by the second European qualifier. This time we'll be there for the beginning of the EU, for the second EU qualifier. So we have the second EU Open Qualifier. We have the Americas qualifier after that. We have the Korean qualifier after that. Then we have the Asia closed qualifier, then more NA qualifiers, Korea qualifiers. You can see just a full week of qualifiers. It's very intense. Now, as you can see here, because there are so many qualifiers this week, no Tuna Cup. There's no Sparkling Tuna Cup this week. There is no MSO broadcast this week, and there's no Pondcast this week. Because there are just so many qualifiers, because there's just so much going on, it does mean that we did have to postpone or skip this week when it comes to our other events, our other broadcasts, as we are fixated and prioritizing EWC. So again, a lot of qualifiers here. So because of that, next week then we'll catch up with the Pondcast and with Tuna Cup and with everything else. Just this week we had to postpone our own matches because there's just so much EWC. It's so oppressive. Just so much Esports World Cup condensed in a handful of days. So yeah, it's a lot of StarCraft, a lot of EWC. Of course, it's going to be next week where we catch up on our regular events, and we'll be getting into that schedule next time. But for now, again, just make sure that you're, I say make sure that you're free at some point, at any point during the week. Just tune into the CranKy Ducklings. We're going to be live. We're going to be casting some kind of StarCraft because there's just so much going on. And of course, as we always do, we cast everything. We cast more than any other channel out there. If you're out there, if you are tuning in maybe for the first time, consider following the CranKy Ducklings. Again, we do stream on a daily basis. As you can see here, we stream multiple times a day. We cast everything, all things StarCraft, more than Wardy, more than Steadfast, more than anyone else. We have the quantity and we have a little bit of the quality as well. So do consider following, whether it's here on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram. Join us on Discord as well. We do provide benefits, of course, to our subscribers with replay packs. I know that we're falling a little bit behind in that just because there's just been so much going on with DreamHack, with EWC, and with GSL. We'll be catching up. Speaking of, oh right, I was meant to say that we had to reschedule our GSL cast. GSL is this week, and we are going to be casting GSL via replays, but because of all these EWC matches, we cannot cast GSL live. So, we cannot cast GSL this week. We're going to be catching up next week. So the GSL casts have been postponed and pushed back to next week instead. So yeah, it's just a lot going on. A lot going on. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And again, we'll be back in 2.5 hours. I'm going to go get some food. I'm starving. I'm going to go get some food. Going to go get something to eat. And then we'll be back for some more qualifiers and for the May Mayhem as well. With that, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.